Hello and welcome, everybody. Thank
How
you
are
for
we?
joining us this evening. I see a few familiar names and faces in the comments already, so I hope you're all keeping well. We are here tonight for the launch of our next Whiskey Bus experience. 15 months away. Can't say we're not organised. 15 months away, next September 2026, from the 19th to the 26th. And for the first time ever, we're going international. We're
Woo!
shaking it up a little bit. Not only are we bringing you into the depths of Irish whiskey, we're heading over to, some may say, enemy territory, over the water to the lovely Isle of Islay in Scotland. And we're super excited to delve into the itinerary. Bookings are live now if you want to get ahead. irishwhiskeyexperiences.com. All the details are over there. From Antrim to Ardbeg, you'll see the experience. It's just gone live on our website. So if you're interested, we'd obviously love you to join us. But aside from that, welcome Barry, welcome Anthony. How are we?
Very good. How are you?
I'm the very best. I have a Bushmills 14 in my glass this evening for the night that's in it. What about yourselves?
I have a drop of Bushmills 21 in my glass at the moment, and I have the only bottle of Scottish whiskey that I own, a bottle of Octomore from Islay, ready to go
Nice.
after the Bushmills 21.
I have a bottle of Old Comer, and I have a bottle of Lefroy quarter cask.
I'm slacking here. I also have Old Cumber beside me tonight as well, actually, but I do not own a bottle of Scotch whiskey. So maybe I'll have to change that within the next 15 months before we embark on our PD journey.
What's that Lefroy like, Anthony? That PX cask?
It's real forward on the Lefroy part. The PX struggles to come through a wee bit, but it's there. It is there. It's one of the quarter cask ones. You know, the quarter cask series that they've done, and it's actually it is nice. It's probably one of my favorite of the Lefroy's because they're meaty whiskies. You have to be in the mood for it, and they really do.
Nice. I have to try. I'll have to give that a try next time I'm up.
Yep.
I'll have to start a Scotch whiskey journey now. I'll hold my hands up and say that I am not in any way an expert in Scotch whiskey or exactly a lover of peated whiskies either, but I'm willing to learn.
Do we have to send you on some sort of extracurricular
maybe
work or course or something like that? I mean,
we already did. We took her over to Islay a few weeks ago.
I was going to say, but that was a day. You know, maybe I need to just go and hide there for like the winter months.
I don't know if Islay is exactly the place to be hiding for the winter months.
No,
I would say it's a bit. You have it rough in Ballycastle. I reckon over there would be fairly exposed.
Yeah, you're telling me, Barry. We can testify to that. Given the trip that we had the other week, and I see Adrian's in the comments as well, the owner of Harbourview Hotel, which is our first staying point of the week. That was a rough journey, but anyway, hopefully that was the only time it'll be like that.
We're here to sell the trip, not the fear of other people.
It'll be grand. It's a bit of fun. Anyway.
Right. Let's why don't we talk about why we're going to Scotland? Why are we going to Scotland?
Yeah, well, I think we'll start initially by kind of the approach to the whiskey buses that we embarked on really at the beginning of this year, which was the overarching theme of Annam. So Annam means soul in Irish, and we wanted to really bring you closer to the landscape that has influenced certain Irish whiskey brands or distilleries, the people that have helped pave the way for brands, and really just get closer literally to the soul of Irish whiskey, because we'd found that the experiences that we'd done in the past that really did exactly that and brought us closer to the literal landscape, the people, really hands-on experiences like cutting turf with Mickle out in Connemara in Galway, or sowing barley at Gallyhead in West Cork with Clonakilty Distillery. Those experiences always shone through with our guests, and we wanted to really continue that theme more so and really focus on it this year. And the other side of that is as well, we're always looking for new angles, new approaches, new and exciting experiences, really to keep things exciting, keep things fresh. I mean, we're on to August will be our 6th whiskey bus. So we've covered a lot of Ireland. We've explored a lot of distilleries, a lot of brands, a lot of areas. So we thought, why not shake it up a little bit and head over to Scotland, in particular Islay. So obviously there's a huge, you could say, kind of relationship between Ireland and Scotland, two Celtic nations. I would say very similar people, personalities, whiskies, maybe not so much, some similarities here and there, more so than we would probably like to admit. But the closest point of Scotland to Ireland is only 12 miles. So we thought, why not head over there for a day and throw a little curveball into Irish whiskey experiences.
It's a great one. It's
really
we
is.
went over to Islay there a couple of weeks ago and had a great time and got to learn a lot about the logistics needed and the distances and the timings and the island itself. And really looking forward to diving in out the itinerary and walking through what we're going to do for a week. And this is probably the furthest out we've ever revealed a bus, 15 months ahead.
Yeah. And listen, it's something that we want to continue as well. We're very aware that people like to plan things. You like to know dates in your diaries for holidays and vacations and all of that. So this is something we'll continue as well, certainly into next year. And honestly, even 2027, myself and Anthony had a phone call earlier. We'll probably honestly be putting dates in your diary for 2027 in the next month or so, just to get it out there, save the dates. We like to be organized. Gives us something to look forward to as well and plan towards, which is great.
And I think too, as well, I mean, having the new payment system that we introduced earlier last year, actually, I think is a great thing as well, because it just sort of makes the thing sort of just softens it a wee bit for people as well, if they can be chipping away at it over the year, and then it sort of is upon you before you know it. I know that myself, that when you book a holiday and it sort of comes around really, really quickly once you have it sort of booked and cleared out of the way. So yeah, Douglas just commenting there that he loves the payment option. I think it really does make it sort of not affordable, but it does make it affordable for everybody. I think it really brings it into the realm, so it's enjoyable and makes it easier as well.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, the world is a weird and strange and difficult place at the minute for many people. So if you want to come on holiday with us, which we're always delighted and honored that you do so, we want to make it as easy as possible, and it really is as simple as that. Will we dive in?
Crack on.
Brilliant. So I mentioned at the beginning, this trip is now live. We're calling it From Antrim to Ardbeg. We love a bit of alliteration. And honestly, one of the main reasons, if not the main reason, that kind of influenced and inspired this trip is the very hotel that you are currently looking at. And that is the Harbour View Hotel in Carnlough in County Antrim. So Carnlough is a beautiful, tiny little town. Really, it's on the coastal route from Belfast to the north coast. It's a beautiful, very sleepy little part of the world, but it is home to Ireland's very first whiskey hotel. Myself and Barry were lucky enough to check this place out a couple of weeks ago as part of as he mentioned, the trip over to Islay, and for the official launch of the hotel as well. The owner and founder of the Harbour View Hotel and Outwalker and Limavady Irish Whiskey, Adrian McLaughlin, is in the comments here. So shout out to Adrian. This hotel dates back to 1848, so it's not a new hotel, but it served as a coaching inn for travellers on the Antrim coast. It was formerly known as the Londonderry Arms. No relation to the city of Derry, Londonderry, which is about 58 miles away. It was the Marchioness of Londonderry who essentially commissioned this hotel to be a point for travellers to rest on the way to the north coast. Last year, under the new ownership of Adrian and Daryl McNally as well, who we'll talk about in a couple of minutes, it's undergone a massive transformation, and it's incredible. There's over 300 whiskies on the shelves. There are whiskey flights that you will not find in any other location on the entire island of Ireland. ranging from probably about £30 right up to 1608 pounds, 1,608. And it's just amazing. And it's very, very rare that you have a hotel where everything merges together so perfectly. Whiskey, service, great staff, beautiful rooms, decor, fantastic food. And this will be our home for the first 4 nights of the trip. And we're delighted.
Great hotel and such a passion for whiskey. Adrian and Daryl and the team and Paul, they've embraced all aspects of the whiskey industry and have encouraged those in the whiskey industry to come experience it, host events there. They have set up their Carnock Whiskey Club. They've rallied around 3 drams. They've got a Carnock Whiskey Festival coming up in August. It's all in very quickly in the best way and putting a really strong pin in the map for Irish whiskey on the North Coast. So we couldn't be in not just a better place, but in better company too. People who really, they get it. They want to provide the hospitality. They love whiskey. And I think our guests are going to really enjoy the crack.
I agree. Yeah. Great selection in the bar. You don't need to move anywhere else to find a better selection of whiskey. Great pints as well, great Guinness, and a whiskey shop in there too with whiskies that aren't even really widely available in Ireland, merchandise, everything you could think of. So it really is, and I can't wait to see how the hotel progresses and evolves over the years. It really is such a hub for Irish whiskey, and we're delighted, to be staying here. I cannot wait. So that's our first stop for the first 4 nights. So really the majority of the time that we're from. There we go. Thank you, Barry. So that's a little peek at the whiskey shop with some merchandise. Some lovely, there's t-shirts, there's prints, there's glassware, everything you could think of. And obviously a beautiful selection of Irish whiskey.
We'll share lots more videos too over the coming days. We put together some slideshows and some reels of the hotel and give you a sense of the destination as well. So you'll know what you're in for.
Absolutely.
I think as well, when I visited Adrian and the guys up there as well, how they've retained many of the character pieces of the whole hotel as well. I mean, it has a history. They didn't throw out the baby with the bathwater. I mean, they've retained so much of the old features. And again, talking to them as well, the plans that they have to develop it on and to add more to it, it really is going to become a destination hotel. But as you said, Lauren, it is on the path up to Ballycastle and the northwest coast, so it is everybody's trying to get up there, and they're trying to get up to the north coast and see Bushmills and see all the fantastic places. But I think the Harbour View is going to become a destination in its own right. I think everybody's going to enjoy their time there.
Absolutely. So the first day, so we're going to kind of give a brief overview, as we said, of each day of the itinerary. So from the 19th to the 26th is obviously the trip. It'll begin on Saturday, the 19th of September next year. The first day, everyone will arrive in Dublin Airport if you're not already there for a few nights before. I know some people like to come over a little bit earlier, explore or relax before the official madness kicks off. On the way from Dublin up to the Harbour View Hotel in Carnock, we'll be stopping in at a certain Anthony Sheehy's pub, JJ Sheehy's. I don't know if he knows this yet, for a light lunch.
That's why we're all gathered here at the same time, so we can all get up to speed on the itinerary.
For a light lunch, a few pints, whiskies, have at it, whatever you like. You can torment Anthony for a few hours in Dundalk before heading a wee bit further north. Is that right?
We're adding culture. That's I think the fairest description. Is that what it is, Barry? I know Barry wanted it. We had to sort of even the tally because we've been to Cork now a couple of times, and we had to get them back into Dundalk to just breathe culture into everybody's experience with us.
How starved must you be? Like, how starved must you be where Dundalk is giving you culture?
Hopefully they'll be here long enough that they'll pick up a bit of the local accent. I mean, it's so velvety soft that everybody loves it in Ireland. Gorgeous. I mean, it's gorgeous. Instantly recognizable,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, a bit of grounding in Dundalk, let's say, before you head north. So we couldn't pass him by and not go into him. You'd get
That
very
sounds like
upset.
an insult. It sounds like an insult there, but a grounding in Dundalk, as if
Grounding, yeah.
that's the lowest part of the trip. We can only go up from there,
Yeah.
I know that'd be the highlight for many. Let me tell you, I've heard stories about previous whiskey buses. Anyway,
I'm just going to mute myself here just to be okay. Sorry.
Anthony's currently sitting in his pub with punters trying to leave.
They were told to shut up.
Sorry.
I told them to shut up.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Anyway, from the beautiful depths of Dundalk, we will head further north to the Harbourview Hotel to obviously check in for our first night there and our welcome dinner. This will be a fantastic welcome dinner, a little bit different than we've done previous years. So we will be joined by Daryl McNally, who's on the left there. He's the founder of Limavady Irish Whiskey, and Adrian McLaughlin on the right. He is the co-founder of Outwalker Irish Whiskey and the Harbourview Hotel as well. So Daryl and Adrian are business partners in both whiskey and hotel. They both have incredible experience in the hospitality world and in the whiskey world, and the two forces combine to create this incredible whiskey hub, which we have alluded to. So we'll have a welcome dinner with Daryl and Adrian in the hotel. We'll have the place pretty much to ourselves, a nice little beautiful kind of function room area for a dinner with Outwalker whiskey, Limavady whiskey, beautiful cocktails, incredible food. And we have to give a shout out to Christian, the chef, as well, our resident singing chef, who has he has a set of lungs on him, let me tell you. We've heard him sing. He's incredible. So no doubt while he's serving us some food, he'll put on a performance for us as well. So we did say this was the destination of everything. It really is.
When we were up there for the launch of the hotel and for the Isla trip, one of the funny things was, Daryl was part of the dinner we were hosting, and we wanted Daryl to give us a little tasting in Limavady, but Daryl loves a crowd and loves the audience and loves telling stories, and told so many stories that we couldn't get any Limavady out of Daryl for the whole time that we were having dinner. Not once did he pour a drop of Limavady. So I was determined, while we were in the hotel, I was determined to see Daryl actually pour a Limavady. So I managed to convince him at about 2:00 in the morning, the night of the launch of the hotel. I got a video of Daryl. I said, Daryl, I don't believe you even own the brand Limavady, because I've never seen you hold a bottle of it. I've never seen you pour it. And so I said, right, time for a Limavady, Daryl. I've got a little video of it here. He was determined to prove that he is involved, not just involved, but the owner.
The owner, yeah. Have you got it?
A Limavady bottle.
Poured by the man himself.
No, there Daryl, we go. That's the level of hospitality we can expect.
He's a gas man. He's some crack. Daryl used to work for Bushmills, so he has a world of stories that he will very happily and openly share with everyone. So it will be great crack. We couldn't think of a better way to kickstart the week in Ireland's first whiskey hotel with two great brands and great people. So really, really great start. Brilliant start. Day 2 then, we will be heading to a beautiful little pub called Cross Keys Inn. It's about 30 minutes outside of Belfast, probably about 35-40 minutes from Carnock. We will be taking over this little pub. It's actually Ireland's oldest thatched pub. It dates back to 1654. We will have an afternoon. We're going to have a Keely in here. A Keely in Irish is like a dance, a party, almost like a festival. We'll have all the crack. There will be music, barbecue, and we'll also be joined by Copeland Distillery. So we always say every time we do a whiskey bus itinerary, it's where do we have to unfortunately leave out, because we have so much choice, which is an incredible problem to have. We can't bring you to Copeland in this itinerary, but we can bring them to us. So Gareth Irvine, the founder of Copeland Distillery, and Mick McKeown, the global ambassador. They will be joining us. They'll be bringing some Copeland whiskies, some special pours, unreleased whiskies from their warehouse to show us what's coming. And we'll just have an absolutely brilliant evening in a little thatched pub. Great Guinness, great crack, music, food, whiskey. What more could you want?
I think this is where we'll actually get culture. Don't mind Dundalk. We'll actually get it up here in the Cross Keys. Look, they've even got that thatch. You can see in the thatch. You can see the culture falling out of the thatch. It's right there.
They trump us a wee bit. We're 250 years old here. Our pub is 250 years old. But I think Vincent and the team up in the Cross Keys. I've been lucky enough to be in that pub a few times. Vincent Hurl, the proprietor there, is a gentleman, knows all about hospitality. It is a fantastic venue. It really does ooze Irishness. So to be there, you're on the shores of, you're not far from Lough Neagh. It is just a fantastic wee pub. I mean, it has also in its own right become a destination pub. I know bus groups to go there from some CIE tours and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He really has created something truly, truly special there, and not a bad old whiskey selection as well in the bar as well. So it's
very solid.
it's
Yeah, and it's honestly like an Irish living room in the best way. Like it is literally like walking into a living room in a traditional Irish house. It's incredible. Old kind of whiskey memorabilia on the walls, old pictures, open fire. It's a great spot. I'm super excited. I'm excited for all of this itinerary, but every day really does bring something different. Whether we're bringing you closer to a bit of Irish culture, whiskey, people, whatever it may be. But yeah, this will be a great afternoon.
I think it ties back to the Antrim, the soul of Ireland, where the danger would be with our trips that we just go from production venue to production venue to production venue to see how whiskey is made. And I think most people who come on our trips would have a sense of how whiskey is made. If they don't, we'll tell them along the way. But what I don't think we should do ever, and we're careful to avoid it, is just have 7 different distilleries show us how they make their whiskey. And I think what we get here is a chance to really lean into, well, look, this is how whiskey used to be drank, where it used to be drank, with music, with a peat fire, a bit of a session, music, a few pints, get to know each other. That to me is what it's all about.
Agreed. You're right. Yeah, and we try to keep every day as different as we possibly can, give you perspectives on distillery sizes, methods of production, styles of whiskey, all of that. So yeah, hopefully you feel like that's always encapsulated. Day 3 then, don't know that we need much of an introduction at this stage to Bushmills, to be honest. We'll be heading from Carnlough up to Bushmills, closer kind of around the further north, really along the coast, for a day at Bushmills. You've seen what we do at Bushmills. We have almost broken every rule in their playbook at this stage to do the things that we do on site there with Alex Thomas, the master blender. We'll be sipping on some incredible single malt whiskies, exclusive to the distillery, exclusive to Ireland, that you can't find in the US or elsewhere. Drawing whiskey direct from casks in a warehouse, all of the above. We'll have a beautiful lunch at the Bushmills Inn as well, just in the little village itself. And of course, we can't bring you to the North Coast and bring you to Bushmills without going for a whiskey on the rocks at the Giant's Causeway. So no doubt my bottle summoning skills might make an appearance again. There might be a bottle appear behind a rock, out of the water. Who knows?
Some of the experiences we'll have at Bushmills will be finalized, and we'll share more over the coming months with you. But there has been a couple of developments at the distillery in terms of new experiences and new ways to enjoy the distillery. And I think we'll probably get a chance to visit Warehouse 2, which is their oldest one of the oldest buildings on site, that's been there since the site was rebuilt after the fire in the 1800s. I've got a little video here just to show you what that looks like. But there's every chance we'll go inside there for a drop of whiskey too, right?
Absolutely. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So this building has recently been renovated to allow guests not just go into the ground floor, but go all the way up to the very roof. There's 3 floors. It's an event space. You can see where whiskey was originally stored, also where they stored grain. I think it was a grain store back in the day originally. And you'll see all the old windows that would have been had to have been opened, so there wouldn't be any explosions on the side of the building there back in the day. So it's a really, really cool new development, a new experience at the distillery.
Yeah, I mean, it's all, I think, I can't remember, maybe on the first whiskey bus, no, I don't think we actually did go in there, but it used to be, as Barry said, it's kind of been refurbed. It used to be very uneven ground, stones, cobwebs everywhere. It's just an old building, and so it's great to see that it has kind of been refurbed a little bit and kind of repurposed into that event space. Just back to the photo there, Barry, you had of Bushmills. So the old kind of malt building, which is now the bar and restaurant area, and also where the little secret pop still bar is too. So you'll see the building there, and this is something, if you do join us, and even if you don't, it's just really cool to see the pagoda roofs, the towers on the building there. So they were designed by a Scottish architect called Charles Doig, and he was commissioned after the fire at Bushmills in 1885, really to kind of rebuild the distillery essentially, and they commissioned him to create a beautiful building, and he became renowned and famous for the pagoda towers all over Scotland. I think he has about over 50 Scottish distilleries that have a similar roof of this style. But this is incredibly unique to Bushmills, and you'll see when we go to Islay the following day, you'll see this style of pagoda tower on some of the distilleries over there as well. Lagavulin and Ardbeg, for example, Lefroy too, which is really cool actually. So a nice little piece of kind of Irish Scottish whiskey history.
And those were the chimneys for the maltings back in the day.
They were, yeah. So they help airflow when you're malting barley. So that's kind of why they were designed and why they became such a staple all across distilleries for Bushmills in Scotland too. Yeah.
I think Bushmills is nearly the epitome of who we are. Because I think every experience there has been fantastic, but the relationship, and again, it is a testimony to yourself, Lauren, and to Barry, that the relationship you've built up with the Bushmills team up there, in particular, Alex, just gives us unbridled access. And I mean, anybody who was on our last tour knows, I think the real definition of that is when we were standing on the roof of the building and some officers appeared in high visibility jackets below, looking up. This large group of people appeared on the roof of a building, and there's Alex just leans over and goes, "Hi." And it is so. It is, as I said, it is the epitome of the access, and what Irish whiskey experience is all about is literally bringing our guests, our friends, our people who support us behind the scenes to just experience something that they just cannot get anywhere else in the world. I really do think it's special.
It's incredible. And I mean, some of the best single malt Irish whiskies in the world. Obviously we'll be delving into the Scottish single malt whiskies, but from an Irish perspective, award-winning whiskey is just incredible. So yeah, I mean, you can't go north without going to Bushmills. It just wouldn't be right.
I just finished reading the book on Bushmills, which was written by Peter Mulryan from Blackwater Distillery, and he wrote it in 2008 at the time of the celebrations of the 400th anniversary of the distillery. And it's mind-blowing, the history of that site and how many ownerships, how many owners have been involved, how many people have had their, I suppose, have added a twist to things over the 400 years. And Anthony's right, like, it is who we are. Like, the history of Bushmills is the history of the Irish whiskey industry. And it's just incredible. Like, to stand, I still maintain it's the greatest whiskey tour in Ireland is the tour of Bushmills. Even the standard £15 tour is the best tour in Ireland. And I just don't think there's anywhere for the whiskey history fan that beats Bushmills anywhere in the world.
There we go.
Now.
There we are.
The only question I sort of have, Lauren,
Sorry?
Is there a wee pull for you? I mean, I know it's always going to have a special place in your heart. I mean, surely when you go there, you must look at it and go, I'm just so proud to have been part of this.
100%. Like, I was a baby when I started in there. I was 19 as a student, a tour guide, no clue about whiskey. And I just fell in love the stories, the history, Irish whiskey industry, the people, literally everything. It sounds so cliche, but genuinely it just sucked me in like the Irish whiskey industry does to many people. So I'm incredibly proud to have that as kind of my starting point in the Irish whiskey industry. It paved the way for me. It wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for Bushmills. So 100%, it will always have a very special place in my heart, for sure.
Obviously, you must have been only about 12 when you started there. Because, I mean, if you were there for 10 years, you're only 23 and a half now.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Yeah. Thank you. You know, I wish. Anyway, moving on.
Can you see her there, Anthony? Like, can you actually?
Sorry, the light. Sorry.
See the wrinkles. See the wrinkles. Yeah, there you go. Oh my days.
Before we move on to the Isla bit, just one quick video here I want to put up again. And I was the one tonight who said we're not going to take too long going through all these slides. I keep putting up all these videos.
Yeah, Barry.
After Bushmills, we're going to go back to the hotel again, back to the Harbour View. I just found this great little 40-second video, just walks you through leaving the car park and going across the road into the hotel, into the whiskey shop. It just give you a sense of the Harbour View again. You're fine. You're grand. We had our dinner in this room during the Isla trip. Isn't it amazing?
It's honestly mind-blowing. You words can't do it justice, genuinely. And even when you see the bar area, where the actual main whiskey selection is, it's incredible. The range of, actually, just speaking about it, the range of Bushmills alone is unbelievable. Unbelievable. We're talking 44-year-old Bushmills. 36
big ones up there.
46, yeah.
Yep, 46, yeah.
Greg has initiated monthly payments. I see there's a few bookings have come in already, which is great. We've got 8 or 9 bookings here already.
Fair play, Greg. Yeah, the bookings are going already, which is brilliant to see. Great to see. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome, Greg, you've been on more buses, I'd say, than anybody, and more experiences and more things with us.
Great supporter, Greg. Always appreciated. Thank you very much. Yes, so day 4 then is where we cross the waters from Ballycastle to the Isle of Islay in Scotland. It's about a 1 hour, 40-minute crossing, weather dependent. On the way there, you'll even see some absolutely beautiful scenery along the coast, Ballycastle, Fairhead, Rathlin Island as well, just a little island off the north coast. Beautiful part of the world. There we go. More scenery in that. I'm sure we'll pour some whiskies on the boat as well at 8 a.m. in the morning. Sure, where else would you get it? For our day on Islay. So we have actually an incredible day planned on Islay. Sorry, Barry, I'll let your video finish. So when we were over a couple of weeks ago, the puffins, it was the season for the puffins. So thousands of them you can see there flying around the cliffs of Rathlin Island.
Sorry, I was interrupting you there. Just with
no, you're all right. It's beautiful, beautiful. So our day on Islay, it's a great day that we have planned. So we'll head over at about 8 a.m. in the morning. As I said, it's about a 1 hour, 40-minute crossing from Ballycastle to Port Ellen, and we will be visiting Ardbeg and Lagavulin as our 2 main distilleries. We'll be getting a private tour of Ardbeg. We'll be going into the whiskey warehouses of Lagavulin. Some of the team there will be drawing whiskies directly from the cask in the warehouses. And we'll also be joined as well by a man called Tom from a company called Islay Adventures. And he is an expert on peat. So obviously peated whiskies are a huge part of the Islay whiskey scene. So Tom will be telling us kind of how peat is used in whiskey production, but also besides that as well, peat's been used for, oh my God, centuries to fuel homes and for fuel sources, whiskey production, everything. So
just drink it from the bottle, Barry. Barry, sorry, Lauren. Barry's just been
pouring
an awful conundrum there. He was looking for a glass. Just drink it straight out of the bottle. I
I
mean,
was looking for a straw, not a glass.
yeah, it's just
No judgment. So yes, so it's a great day we have lined up in Isla. So we'll be there from about, as I said, 9:30, 9:40 in the morning until about 4:30 in the evening. We'll enjoy a lovely seafood lunch by the benches at Lagavulin, right by the water. Absolutely stunning, absolutely gorgeous place. It's a beautiful part of the world, and we're really, really excited to kind of shake things up a little bit, bring you over to Scotland and see how they do things over there.
When we talk about Antrim and who we are, well, who we are gave rise to who they are, because without the Irish, there wouldn't be any Scottish whiskey makers. And they themselves, like Islay is where they will point to points of Islay where first distillations and mentions and where they think whiskey kind of started. But they themselves will say, with a little bit of disappointment, that it did indeed come from Ireland and probably landed on Islay distillation skills. So it's all connected, and and to listen to the legends when we go to the Giant's Causeway of how the causeway itself was just a bridge from Scotland over to Ireland to allow Cuchulainn to, I suppose, bring over some of those distilling skills. Who knows? But it's all connected. It's all connected.
Exactly. It's like, as Barry mentioned, we were over. I kind of last minute joined the trip to Islay, which I was delighted to do so, very grateful to do so. It's such a beautiful place. It really kind of surpassed any expectations I had. And that was actually my first time over there, which is ridiculous because I live just outside Ballycastle and the boat crossing is from Ballycastle. It's ridiculous that was my first time there, and I'd always meant to go. And it really is. It's a beautiful place. Slightly bigger, I think, than I also imagined as well. But we will kind of be really just for timing perspectives and navigation around the island. Will be mainly around the Port Ellen area, and Ardbeg and Lagavulin are very close by there as well. And so is the Peak Bog that Tom from Islay Adventures is bringing us to as well. So really, really excited for that. Cannot wait.
We'll have some time when we're there as well. Like inside in Lagavulin, they have a great whiskey bar that you can order up some flights of whiskey and experience all of their different approaches. And there are various bottlings that aren't available anywhere in the world from the festivals, the Fé Sheila, the festival that's on the island every year. We enjoyed some of those when we were over there last time. And the guests who we brought over 2 weeks ago were just blown away by their experience in Islay, because it's you can learn so much about Irish whiskey. But it's so fascinating to go then to Scotland and see their take on it and how completely different it is in some ways, but yet how identical it is in other ways. It's actually, to me, it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Adrian, you're right. It's my round next time. Adrian picked up the flight of whiskies there. Would there be a cheap flight of whiskies when we're over there next time? Maybe we'll find a cheap flight, all right, to return the favor.
They actually do like brilliant cocktails in all of these bars as well, like lovely kind of, again, I'm on my journey with peated whiskey, as I keep mentioning, but the cocktails were sublime, absolutely incredible. Amazing. Yeah, really excited for that one. And just another thing as well, just a little kind of a PSA. For this trip, we're only working with 24 places for now, due to the boats to Islay. So the boats can only hold 12 guests, and then obviously us on top of that as well, 12 guests each. So we're getting 2 boats. We're chartering 2 boats across from Ballycastle to Islay. If we do find down the line that there is additional demand and people are really sad that they missed out, we can look at a 3rd boat. But just so everyone's aware, this is there's less places on this than there are on most of our whiskey buses.
Yeah,
and we have, as of now, 10 places of the 24 are already booked.
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
The other thing to throw in there is that Islay and Scotland is an integral part of this trip, and it is of course our firm goal to get there. We are at the mercy of the weather and safety and survival. And if the weather determines and the captain of the boat determines that it's too unsafe to cross, we don't argue. We just take the money we were going to spend on the boat and we put it somewhere else, and we give you another experience on the Ireland side of things. That's just a kind of a asterisk that has to be added to this, is that with the best of intentions, we're going to Scotland, but we have no control over the weather. However, what we're going to do, Lauren, you've got a plan of how we might be able to make it even more likely for us to get there.
Yeah, so you'll see if you look on the website, and obviously we'll explain here as well, you'll see the itinerary either side of Isla, which is the Tuesday, the 22nd, the fourth day, is a little bit open. And the reason we've done that is because it is so much easier for us to move Isla either side of the day that it's officially scheduled to be on. So let's say, for example, for some reason, and usually the captain, the skippers, they'll know within a couple of days if we can't cross, which allows us to kind of pull a few strings and move things around and see what we can figure out. So it means that we could move Isla we could move it forward a day to the Monday, which would be the day that Bushmills is, go to Bushmills the day after, or we go to Isla the day after on the Wednesday when we're supposed to be in Belfast. So we've kind of left a little bit open. If we can obviously get to Isla, all being well, on the Tuesday, of course, we'll have an amazing day in Belfast and Bushmills either side of that. But it is open for that exact reason, just as kind of Barry alluded to there. So you'll see.
As much as we'd love to do a helicopter, it's not
It's
either within the
sorry.
budget. It's not within the budget for us to have a helicopter.
The crazy part about us is we've already had these conversations. Genuinely,
Yeah.
we've already had. You wouldn't believe the conversations we've had in relation to this. The submarine, I don't think, Dave Stewart, we've had that one yet. I think that could be definitely a challenge. The problem with the submarine actually be where to berth it, where to dock it on the Irish side.
Yeah.
Fast, and it just gets very messy. Then I think it wouldn't be. But snorkeling fins, is more in the budget. Yeah, probably.
Now, what we might do is, we'll poll you as we get closer to it. We might see if you're open to us bringing loads of Irish whiskey and over to Ireland, and just like hide it in places around the distilleries, like plant it in bogs, put the miniatures in the bogs of Irish whiskey, leave them behind.
Leave our mark everywhere we go. Mini bottles are definitely the way to do that. That's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All
moving
right.
on. So after the 4, no doubt, incredible nights that we have in Carnlough in the Harbourview Hotel, we are moving down to Belfast. We're actually in Belfast twice next year, but we're doing completely different experiences both time. Keep things fresh. So Belfast, obviously, the reason we are going there next year is because it has such a rich distilling history. Belfast used to produce and export more whiskey than Dublin did at a stage. The biggest distillery obviously being Royal Irish Distilleries, which was the former home of Dunville's Irish whiskey. They were exporting about 2 million gallons in their heyday at one point. So incredible history. Belfast has had a huge impact on the Irish whiskey industry, and it continues to do so as well, with the likes of Titanic distillers opening a couple of years ago, the first distillery in the city in almost 90 years, and McConnell's obviously over at Crumlin Road Jail, the revival of another old Belfast brand dating back to 1776. So unbelievable history. We'll be calling the Grand Central Hotel our home for the final 3 nights. We stayed here last September as well. It's a great team. They're so accommodating for us as well. And it's super central. 10-minute walk and you're in the Cathedral Quarter in Belfast with the Duke of York, the Harp Bar. All the pubs you want to be in are so close. Great restaurants surrounding it as well. So it's perfect really to base ourselves. So as I said, we'll leave that day a little bit open just to give us a little bit of cushion for Isla. However, you can't go to Belfast without going to the Friend at Hand Irish Whiskey Shop and Museum. It is an absolute pinnacle of the city. It's the best whiskey shop in the island. I will argue that point, no problem. It's unbelievable, and we'll do something special in there in the evening while we're in Belfast. Jim and Ray, the team there, are so welcoming. They'll open their doors to us anytime. We'll take you around the museum to see some of the incredible bottles that they have on display there, into the whiskey tasting room as well. And because it will be a smaller group, it'll be easier for us to all fit in there too. So yeah, we'll do something special in there, certainly.
And it's almost like there might be a drink involved at night in Belfast in some hostelry or other.
Of course. We'll just drop a pin to our location in Belfast and you can come and find us. No doubt we'll be in the Duke of York, Madden's, for example. I don't actually know if anybody made it round to Madden's in the bus last year. I'm sure you did. It's a great, best Guinness in Belfast. Duke of York, the Garrick, kind of the equivalent of the Dead Rabbit Irish coffees. The Garrick is the home of the Irish coffee in Belfast. Great Irish coffees in there. I don't think I need to tell anybody how much I love Belfast. So yeah, we'll have a great old end to the weekend there. I know, Brian, drinking in Belfast. What a shock.
Yeah.
The thought of it. Then on the Thursday, so day 5, we'll do kind of similar to what we did last year, our September itinerary last year when we spent the full week in Belfast. We'll give you the afternoon free, the morning and the afternoon free, because loads of people say how much they want to do the Titanic Museum, the actual Titanic Museum, not the distillery, the Black Taxi tours, the Game of Thrones tours, all of that. So we always try, and anyone who's been with us before will know this, we always try to factor in as much free time as we physically can, while still giving you a great kind of scheduled experiences so you can explore the city yourself. Massively recommend the Black Taxi tour. Covers obviously the political history of Belfast. The Titanic Museum is amazing. Great value for money, incredible tour. And we'll obviously give you a full list of things you can get up to during the day. There'll be no shortage of things, or you can relax and have a nice bit of lunch in the city. It's entirely your own day. But in the evening then, we'll go to none other than the Ecklandville Distillery, another one that doesn't need a lot of introduction to our guests. We've had incredible experiences with Jarlath Watson and the team there. We're planning something special. I'm not going to tell you what it is yet, but we're planning something very, very special, a little bit different to what we did last year, which has never been done before on any whiskey bus. And then we'll raid warehouses like we did the last time and compare a little bit of sherry. Obviously, Dunbills is massively known for its sherry-finished whiskies, sherry-aged whiskies. So we'll do a little sherry and whiskey tasting deep in the warehouse as well with Jarlath.
We'll also, the Ecklandville, the beginning that was released last year, is a year further down the road, and I know that the guys up there have been monitoring the own distillate, that they've literally grown the barley, malted the barley, distilled it, bottled it. So it's in casks up there. So they've been monitoring that all along. The old Comer has just been a phenomenal. And I forgot that's actually the one that I was drinking there was one of the first ones. And it's just that waxy, real, just unbelievably funky distillate that they have, and I think it's just getting better and better and better over the time. So yeah, it is going to be something special. I mean, again, I know we don't have to lean too heavily on Jarlath and Seamus and Stephen and Shane and all the guys up there, and they can really pull out all the stops for us. So that's a good one to do.
I just poured we dropped
just one question there. Just as we're going through it, just a question came in. I want to answer it regarding the pricing. So one of our viewers there has gone to the website just to ask about pricing and wants some clarification on some of the pricing. So I'm just going to pull something up on the screen here just to explain some of the pricing. I know we'll get to it in a little bit, but just to answer that question real quick. Just bear with me here. So our website allows you to see the prices in various currencies. Yep. So here on the screen, you'll see it said in British pounds, 3,411. Can you see that? I think you can. It says 3,411 pounds. Yet when you click here to pay in full, it'll show 3,950 euros. So you just have to change up on the top right of the screen. You'll see there's a drop down with the euros, dollars, and pounds. Change to euros, and you'll see that it'll update to 3,950, which matches the price there. So sometimes the website it doesn't know where you're logging in from.
Yeah, and also the currency exchange on the website isn't honestly always accurate. So if you are, I did see the email come through. Don't worry, David, I wasn't ignoring you. I would answer you after. Just go on to the direct payment links and it'll sort that out for you. It's just the website's a bit weird with the currency exchange sometimes.
Are we going to get to drive some tanks? Yeah.
Don't think our insurance stretches that quite that far.
As the health and safety officer, I can definitely say no.
Anyway, I just took a sip of whiskey. So
you're also our chief of culture and chief of safety. This is awfully worrying.
And HR.
And HR as well.
And
Yeah,
HR.
that's the worrying part. Yeah.
Anthony wears many hats, many hats.
Yeah.
He's more hats than a North Korean general, definitely.
Yes. Notice in the chest as well with all the medals. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Actually, I don't think he's presented me with the medals for sorting out the weather when we were in Dingle last year. So when can I expect that?
You have to kind of provide that for at least 3 whiskey buses though before we kind of award you.
We'll get you a medal. We'll get you something.
I'll get you one of those wee medals you got when you were in primary school.
No, I just don't know. I don't want just one for participation. I definitely want one for sorting out the weather. I mean, I went down in advance. I mean, you were lolling it up on the bus and you were drinking whiskey and arrived in, and I had all the weather sorted out. I mean, lads, just
look.
Okay.
Look, we'll sort it out with you. We'll write you a check or something.
Harassment reinforcer. Absolutely, Greg. Yes, absolutely. That's what I do.
That's way more accurate of a title, Greg. Yeah, definitely. Anyway, moving on. Final day, the last day, the Friday, the 25th. We will be spending it with Titanic Distillers. Again, we did visit here last year, but we're shaking it up in a very interesting way this time. And there is a reason for this, and I will explain it. So I mentioned earlier, Titanic Distillers was the first new distillery in Belfast for almost 90 years when they opened back in 2023, led by Peter Lavery and the team there. So we are going to travel to the distillery by boat. There's not many distilleries in Ireland that you can travel to by boat. So we'll take a tour along the River Lagan from what we call the Big Fish. Many of you who were with us last year will know where that is. From the Big Fish cultural landmark in Belfast all the way along the River Lagan to Thompson Dock, where Titanic Distillers is. We will be enjoying a historical tour. Obviously, it's an incredible building. It's the old Titanic pump house beside the dry dock, once the largest dry dock in the world. Incredible history in the building. They have a great story to tell. And they also, we were speaking to one of the team there, Siobhan, who looks after their event side of things. And she mentioned that they do this series of events called Titanic Distillers Presents. And they kind of, and I actually really love their aim and mission with this, is that they want to show people that Irish whiskey and whiskey in general isn't the liquid that your dad drinks or you have to drink it a certain way. It's a vibrant liquid. You can join cocktails at festivals, whatever you like. And that's what they're trying to push. So the Titanic Distillers Present series, they partner with DJs, with creatives, local artists and DJs and performers in Belfast to create this little series of events. So what we're going to do with them, I can already see Anthony laughing before I even look at him, is we're going to do a silent disco in the docks. So right there you can see the Thompson Dry Dock there. Once held the Titanic, it's now going to hold about 24, 25 of us on a silent disco as part of their Titanic Presents series. So it's Titanic Presents the Whiskey Bus. It's going to be a silent disco in the docks. If you've never done a silent disco, it is the funniest, best crack ever. And it's even funnier when you take off the headphones and you listen to everybody singing very badly, but also singing a different song. There'll be cocktails, whiskey, everything. A whiskey disco. We're calling it a whiskey disco. Anthony's cracking up.
A whiskey.
There you go.
It's more the fact of I don't do disco at all. It's like a hippopotamus in a tutu. I mean, it just doesn't, it's so yeah.
But you can learn to.
This has never been done, and while we want to obviously we want to be reverent to the site, the last bit of land that the Titanic touched. We also want to have a bit of crack, and we'll have a moment of silence down there while bopping around with the headphones on.
Just a mark of respect first, then we party.
Dave, the thought, actually, Dave Stewart saying one of the cruises he's done had a silence that says, it's fantastic.
It's brilliant.
Dave, I think, me and you would just, no, I can't even comment. It's just.
Honestly, my friend got married in January and she had that as her wedding entertainment. When I tell you, it was so much better than a band or a DJ playing all the songs that everybody has heard their entire life and are sick of, whereas you can tune into whatever radio station you want or whatever station you want, and the headphones are colored. So if you see someone that has the same color as you know they're listening to the same song as you, and you can dance over and vibe with them. And then you take your headphones off and laugh at everybody else. It's great. I'm glad David agrees.
We'll be pouring whiskey, like while you're dancing, we'll be going around pouring whiskey into your glasses, and the dancing will improve as the pouring goes on.
Listen, if anybody saw that I went to Pitbull a couple of weeks ago and donned a full bald cap and glasses, I can bring that back. Like, if there's enough votes,
no, it's okay.
I will bring that back and I will wrap.
We're grand. No, we're good. We're good.
The picture of the thought of me in a tutu and you in a bald cap, I think is pushing people away. Sorry, Barry. Sorry, we're scaring people off.
Well, we're not scaring that many people off because we're now half booked. We're now half full for our trip. It's 12 bookings now out of 24. So
amazing.
The thought of Lauren in a bald cap and Anthony in a tutu has clearly driven sales.
Dave, there's no blackmail in me because I've no shame. There's just absolutely, I've no shame. I'll do these things. I mean, it's a well-known fact. You can't embarrass me.
DJ Darryl, I'm so down for that. I am so fine with that, honestly. Can Darryl be DJ in the Harbour View, though? Is that also an option?
Only if he promises not to tell stories and actually does the DJing and isn't too busy telling stories about everything else. Or we'll have no music and no Limavady.
He can be on the decks and then stop for a wee story and then keep going and stop for a wee story. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant.
Well, that's not much of a 7-day itinerary, Lauren. Could you not have put more thought into it? No.
Sorry, guys. I tried like this. I pulled this together in about 3 weeks. Yes.
Here's the logistics of it all. So we introduced there, as Anthony mentioned earlier, a monthly payment option to reduce the whack of the cost. Now, we're in a world at the moment where the dollar is very weak, which means that the euro is quite expensive, and it can be expensive to outlay the full amount right now, and the dollar's 15-16% weaker than it used to be. What we've done with this trip is we have tried to find as many savings while not sacrificing the experiences as possible to actually bring this trip in at a lower cost than some of our previous trips, despite us having more expenses. So we brought this down to €3,950. That's the total per person price. Now, if you think that here's where you get to play a little bit of a gamble or a bit of your casino hand. If you think that the dollar is going to get a bit stronger, you might say, well, look, I'm not going to pay the full amount right now. I'm just going to put down my monthly payments, and over time, the dollar might get a bit stronger and it'll cost me less as the months go on. So our recommendation would be, if you don't want to pay the full amount up now because of the cost in dollars, 12 monthly payments of $335 and you're covered per person. We've worked to bring down a single supplement as much as possible as well. And it's available now. You've both options on the website. You can pay in full or you can pay start your 12 months of monthly payments now per person. Just select how many people you're paying for when you make that first payment, and that's it. I think it's a lot of value here, a tremendous amount of value, and our partners in this, Adrian as well, have come in and said we want to support you and help us to bring this cost to where it is, and we couldn't do it without the likes of Adrian and the team there as well.
I was about to say, honestly, massive thanks, Adrian. I know he's been online the whole night. Huge thanks to him and the team at Harbourview, because they've been so unbelievably accommodating to help us pull this off. And Barry, we were speaking during the week as well, like, despite everything going on. And when we say everything is increasing, bus cost, hotels, even the whiskey experiences themselves, everything is increasing. This is the first bus that we've been able to bring below €4,000, which is we have worked hard to have this, to get it like that. So yeah, and honestly as well, many of you know us, you've known us for years. If you need to change your monthly payments, if you need to pause them for whatever reason for a month or two, just tell us. I'd like to think that you all know by now that we're very accommodating people. So yeah, if you want to join us on any trip, we'll make it happen as best we can, if that's what you want.
The one thing with the pricing here, Lauren doesn't know this, but in order for us to maintain this pricing, she can't be paid for the next 6 months. But if that's not a problem,
sorry, we weren't supposed to tell her that until I don't say that out loud.
She was going to discover it when the moths flew out of her bank account.
That, Lauren. Yeah, sorry.
Over my person, it's like, oh, okay. Oh dear. Listen, folks, this is flying out. Can I just say, I'm literally watching the bookings come in here, which is incredible.
Yeah,
I'm delighted. I'm sure both of you are delighted. Like, this is amazing. Honestly, we appreciate it so much, and we appreciate that you see the mad things and the mad vision that we try to achieve with each of these things. So yeah, thank you so much.
I think we since we had the discussion and we sort of not morphed, I don't think that's the right word, but we started to evolve the business to what we've actually been doing by creating these unique experiences, by bringing people closer to the heart of and soul, as we've called it, Annam, of Irish whiskey. I think this is a real good opportunity to real kick that into the stratosphere, because it really does bring it home. I mean, things like the Thatch pub in the Cross Keys, and sitting in Bushmills, and even I know that some of the conversations we've had with Dunvilles, it really is going to bring everything real home to what whiskey is, and to the experiences that we love to share with people. Because again, like it or loathe it, part of the deal of coming on a whiskey bus is you get exposed to us three.
We are not exposing ourselves.
Well, there was this one time at band camp, and I'd rather not talk about it. The judge said I wasn't allowed to do it anymore. But I mean, that's what it is. I mean, I think I'll stand up all day long and defend that. I don't think there's three more passionate people about sharing Irish whiskey with the world than us three. And I love getting people involved to sort of say, look, this is what we do. This is what we love. I think, Barry, me and you are similar length of time in the public forum of talking about whiskey and sharing whiskey. And I don't think I'm not even beginning to slow down, because I still love it, because it's what I love talking about and telling people about.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
Now we have to convince Lauren that she's supposed to enjoy this as well. But I mean, look,
I mean,
she has her good days, she has her bad days.
Yeah.
If, we do just have 10 places left on the trip at the moment as it stands. What I will say is that if you're interested and you want to make sure you have a place, if you do commit to the monthly payments, you have a month to finalize that in your head, because we'll refund you within the month. If you decide in 3 weeks' time, I can't make it, just shoot us a message. We'll give you your money back. After the month, it's less easy, because we have to cover our costs and we have to make sure we can pay our suppliers as well. Now, if it means the difference between you losing your house, we'll sort you out. But, you'll understand our costs as well. But look, I would say if you're interested at all, we've 10 places left. Throw down your monthly payment and just at least secure your place, and then talk to us afterwards if you want to be flexible on it. And so it's live on the website there at the moment. What of the 7 days for each of you, what is the experience that's the most exciting for both of you?
Oh, honestly, I'm gonna say Isla, because we haven't done it before, and it's something new and fresh. And I'll throw another little hint about 2027 in there without ruining anything, is we're gonna continue to explore the international piece.
Well, we've done the big headline. I mean, we've got the world's first Irish whiskey cruise coming up later this year. We've got the world's first Scottish Irish amalgamation with the whiskey bus. I mean, I didn't know buses could float, but apparently we're going to make it happen. So I mean, it's only inevitable that in 2027 we do something international. But for this year, I'm really looking forward to the Cross Keys. I mean, I love, and I love, look, I love welcoming people into our wee pub here. But I think the Irish pub is a very special place, and a real proper Irish pub with Cayley music playing, with the atmosphere that it creates in a wee pub like here, or like the Cross Keys, what Vincent has above, is truly a special place. And again, as Barry said, we work hard to try and not have the same thing. I mean, there's loads of people out there that are doing tours now that are bringing people to all these other various distillery things, and we're just beyond that. We're just giving people really what we live and breathe. And I really love sharing the pub scene with people, because I think it's just special when it works. I mean, I think back to Barry, our very first bus, when we the trad music sitting here, literally in this corner that I'm sitting in.
Yeah,
it was just it's a great thing that when it works, when it's flowing, that's a great place.
And it's so, like you said earlier, it's who we are. It feels so natural. It just happens to be the thing that everybody around the world enjoys seeing and doing. And no matter the coldest of hearts, the coldest of stone hearts can't but help start to tap the old toe and the heel after a minute or two inside the room. You know, it just starts involuntarily, and the shoulder be going, and before you know it, they're laping up and down. It's
I actually agree with that massively. Like, I never feel more at home or more Irish when you're in a pub, trad music, pint in hand or whiskey in hand, and you're just having the crack with your friends. It's the best. It is honestly the best feeling. It really is. It never gets old. It never gets lost.
Saying that, actually, there's another one that I just want, and because it's not because Adrian's on as well, but I mean, showcasing the hotel above, it really is what they've done, the lengths they've gone to create what they've created. I mean, look, I'm not saying a hotel's an easy thing to do. It's a very hard thing to do in Ireland at the minute. Hospitality is a tough old gig. But I mean, what they've created above is truly spectacular. It really is.
It is,
it's special. And again, as I said earlier on, retaining so much of the old character of that building, but bringing, I mean, Adrian is just a pro at hospitality. He really is. It's in his DNA. Darrell McNally will sell whiskey until the day that man just stops, because he lives and breathes whiskey. He's brilliant. He's special.
It's so rare, and I said this at the start, but it genuinely is so rare to see a hotel where the staff are invested in. Like, it's very rare to see that anymore, where there is investment in their education, their knowledge, their learning about not just about Irish whiskey, but about every single aspect of hospitality. It's honestly been the first location in a while that, for me, literally everything has come together to create something special. As I said earlier, food, staff, rooms, decor, character, whiskey, everything. It's brilliant.
Yeah, my background was in hospitality and hotels myself, and I got disillusioned by it over the past few years because service slips, and there's lots of investments in bricks and walls and marble countertops, and very little investment in the people who make it all come together. And I was worried that Irish hospitality was slipping a bit. And then you get your hope and your faith restored a bit when you see the team at the Harbour View who are like, this is funny because Adrian and I and a couple of guests, we went out a couple of nights or one of the nights to different places. And you could see we were pointing out how different the staff were in the other place we went to compared to the Harbour View. It was so obvious, just the level of service and care. And just, I saw a quote from somebody, the man who runs the Devonshire in London, the famous pub now that's the best Guinness outside of Ireland. He was talking about Oisin Rogers. He said he doesn't allow the word hospitality because he feels like it's too corporate of a word. He said, we're in the business of just taking care of people. If I hear the word hospitality, I'm going to tell you to stop it. We have to remember we're here to take care of people. And that gets lost in so many businesses. It's not lost in the Harbour View. I was up there for 8 nights and I was taken care of for 8 nights. It was amazing.
It really is. Like, I think there's so many locations and so many bars and pubs across Ireland that call themselves a whiskey bar.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there was a way to get tighter on the definition of a whiskey bar because some of them really aren't. Like, it's disappointing to see as well, because you want to educate people and you want them to understand the spirits on their back bar, but some bars you walk into and you say, can I have a green spot, and you can see them like scouring the shelf, like, I don't know what is that, and you're like pointing where it is.
It's everything I can do sometimes. Like, I don't ever want to call out people for something that goes wrong, and everyone's trying and or with the best of intentions, but it's everything I can do not to just say I'm going to go around from bar to bar with a little hidden camera and ask somebody for an Irish coffee in every bar and see what comes up, what I get. And I want them all to be amazing, but I also want people to realize that there's a standard that should be across the island that we want to make sure, like places like the Harbour View are showing us what we can do. So in any case, we're not here to criticize anybody else, but hero those who are doing great things.
What about your favorite day on the itinerary?
I mean, it would probably have to be Anthony's pub.
I mean, if you're talking about welcoming people in, you might get an insult thrown at you when you walk through the door, but it's all love. Like,
I mean, anybody who's been blessed, I mean, blessed is the word, to be on a whiskey bus thus far, know that sometimes my eloquence lets me down and that I can use profanities occasionally. But it's all comes from a place of love, and going back to what Barry said is we're here to take care of you. And I mean, that's something that is at the front of Irish whiskey experiences. We want to look after you. I mean, I genuinely take it personally. I really, really do. I take it personally that I want to make sure that everybody's looked after, that everybody has a good time. I mean, I want to be accessible. I am shocked that Barry said that he wanted to come here. I mean,
you didn't ask why. I mean,
I'm look. Don't say anything else.
No,
I'm taking the win. I'm happy. It's not Cork. You haven't bleated on about Cork for the last half hour. I mean, so look, for me,
Cork wasn't mentioned once tonight, actually. Not once.
The reason I'm so excited to go to the pub is because I have loads of whiskies at Irish whiskey auctions I need to pick up, and I'd say that I'd probably bring them to the pub, and I can just collect them there on the day. And it's going to be really exciting to see all the whiskies I've been buying over the years.
Load them up on the bus. Yeah, we can do that for you. Actually, Barry, that's not a good idea, because I reckon there might be a few guests on this bus who might want to sample some of them whiskies.
Sharon's Karen.
Listen, I'll bring out the credit card reader, no problem.
I'm pretty sure you still have whiskey sitting with Anthony from last September.
I do. And they
because God knows the man is short of the stuff. I mean, look behind him.
Look behind him. Like, I took all mine away.
Here's per me with an empty glass. I mean, I've nothing left. I've no whiskey to drink at all.
Well, you'll have some shortage, because I have 47 bottles downstairs that are heading up to your next auction. So you'll have some.
No shortage. 7 places left. Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. This is
delighted.
And look, can I just say as well, we laugh and joke, but a big hat tip to Lauren, because Anthony and I have our own businesses to run as well. Lauren is often left to her own devices and probably feels sometimes it would be nice to be surrounded by people in work, and she doesn't have the luxury of that at all times. But while she doesn't have that, she's busy beavering around getting all of these things in order, making sure that the trains run on time, nothing slips. And both Anthony and I quickly realized we didn't have to supervise. We didn't have to be sticking our nose in. We just had to ask Lauren what she needed from us. And a big hat tip to Lauren for organizing all of this, because literally I messaged Lauren today and I said, what time do you want me to turn up for this tonight? She said 11:45. So 15 minutes before, because it was all done. Everything was done. So I raise a glass to you, Lauren, for what you've done for this. Yeah.
Thank you very much. No, listen, it's like, as I've said so many times before, like, it's an honor to work with the pair of you. It really is. And you did, honestly, like, you took a chance on me. As I said, me working for Bushmills for 10 years, it was the only Irish whiskey brand I'd ever worked for. It was a massive change from what I'm doing now. But it's my happy place genuinely is planning itineraries. There is nothing, it just works for my brain. I love organization. I love planning. I love pulling a thing together. And the best reward, genuinely, and I'm not just saying this because there's a group of you in front of us, is seeing the wow experience. I'm on mute. Seeing the wow experience and the faces of all of our guests when something comes together. Yeah, honestly, it's an honor.
Anthony has an argument there. Anthony has an argument.
I do. I mean, I'm not going to use the word I'm calling bullshit, but I reckon your happy place is standing in the Duke of York with a pint of Guinness in your hand. I have seen ecstasy in your face, and it's just that standing. And I mean, I've never seen. It's love. It is just pure love. I mean, it's the only way to describe it. The way you gaze longingly at the Guinness, and it's a
fine line, though, isn't it? It's a fine line between, gazing longingly and addiction.
My second love in life besides whiskey is Guinness. Like, I don't think anybody's a stranger to this. No, I don't. Again, I'm calling bullshit on it. I reckon I've seen just the lust in your eyes when you like walk into the front, and we can sort of go, what's anybody having? And I still remember we had me, Charlotte, Barry, Troy, and yourself. And I said, I was going to the bar, everybody having a pint, and just the love in your eye as you gazed at this pint. And then you and Troy got into a drinking competition.
I thought you were going to say that, like, the first, when I still worked with Bushmills, yes, and I joined you that night in Belfast and split the G on the first go, and like your face was like, I've never seen her like this.
Yeah. So as I say, I'm not dismissing your appreciation for our guests and wanting to help them and support them, but I've seen the way you look at a pint of Guinness, and that's just not natural. That's.
Well, look, as long as the pint doesn't get too expensive, she's a cheap date.
That's fair. Exactly. Yeah. Listen, buy me a pint of Guinness. That's the way to my heart. Now, don't all 24 people buy me a pint at once if we're on the bus out somewhere. That may cause issues, and you might
just take the cash. Just give her the cash.
Yeah. You might not see me the following morning. That could cause issues.
If you have any questions, folks, or on the trip, on logistics, on payments, on timings, I know it's 15 months away. We're ahead of it here. 7 places to go, which gives us great confidence in this trip. And 15 months to sell 7 places. We're happy enough with that. If we can't do that, we shouldn't be in this business, I think. But if you have any questions that we can answer tonight that'll help you make a decision or rule yourself out, just let us know. We're here to answer. We're also available on all of our social media channels at all times.
Yeah. Just on Lauren did say as well, and again, I know we've 7 places left of our original 24. If we get to a stage where we've top it up, we will top it up. But it goes from 24 to 30 is our jump.
36. 36.
Sorry, 36. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Douglas, just to your point there, you do not aggravate me with emails. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for all those emails and inquiries about trips and bookings and recommendations and everything.
That's
Keep
all she
them
does.
coming.
She has no other jobs. She has one job to do, answer emails.
No, I just sit all day at my desk and answer emails. That's the only thing I do. Absolutely. I'm super excited for this. Like, honestly, we've a lot going on actually. There's a lot happening, and you've probably noticed as well, like so everything's changing all the time. We all know that. Nothing is ever linear. The Irish whiskey industry is going through an interesting time at the minute. The world is, I think it's safe to say. So we had always had requests from our Irish community and Irish guests about joining certain days of the whiskey buses and just also having experiences for them too. So you'll probably notice as well that we've kind of turned our attention to that as well as the week-long experiences. You'll see our little whiskey days popping up. We've got a Cork Harbour cruise in a couple of weeks. We've got a spot whiskey experience, a Bowan whiskey experience on top of the whiskey cruise and the 2 buses for next year. So there is a lot happening, but it's great to be busy, and it's great to see the ever-growing appetite for Irish whiskey.
And it also prompts us to say that if you do find yourself in Ireland outside of our week-long trips, and you want to do a whiskey experience, let us know, because we do have these monthly trips, monthly days, or 2 or 3 nights that we did in Islay and North Coast. So we might be able to see you on another experience as well. So do keep us posted when you do come to Ireland. I think we've covered it all. All the details are on our website, irishwhiskeyexperiences.com. You'll see all of our upcoming experiences as well as our this one. We've got our next whiskey bus takes place in August this year. We have another one in March, which we're still selling at the moment, which is the Trifecta. And what we'll probably do is we'll probably schedule another one of these live streams very soon to maybe go over all these experiences again and talk about March for those who might be interested in joining us for St. Patrick's Day in Ireland next year.
Absolutely, yeah. And we'll also do another live stream as well. We've talked about this for the last couple of weeks, is a live stream for the whiskey cruise exclusively, because it's fast approaching. We're 5 months out from that as well. I know I've been in contact with a lot of people this week for certain requests on our behalf for information and things to get you registered with Windstar, the cruise company, to book your shoreside excursions and everything. But it would do no harm to have a live stream solely on the cruise as well, just to answer any questions right in front of you. Yeah, a lot happening.
There is, Dan. Return to Dublin. Yeah.
So every year, what we do is whatever airport we've flown into, and the majority of guests have flown into, we'll fly out of there as well. So we'll bring everybody there, if it works for the group, to Dublin Airport in time for the earliest flight departing that day. I know not everybody leaves straight away. Some people go elsewhere in Ireland and they kind of extend the holiday as well. When you're over here, you may as well. But that also brings me on to another point. Just while we're here, and everyone who has reserved with us tonight, I'm assuming it is online as well, we massively recommend, if you can and if the flight schedule allows, please try to be in Dublin Airport the morning or the afternoon of the day that the trip starts. So that would obviously be, with the time difference, a departure the day before. The reason being is, if you arrive too late, you're exhausted for one, but also it means that you risk maybe missing out on one of the scheduled experiences in the evening as well. We do try to keep everything on the first day to the evening, just to give everybody time to get in, relax, shower, freshen up, whatever. But do try, if you can, to be in the morning or the afternoon of the day.
The morning.
Morning.
I think once we figure out the timings, before you book your flights, we'll send you the time when the bus will be departing. We got caught out, I think, in our last bus because Shannon Airport had a lot of late arrivals in the afternoon, which threw the departure time for us.
Yeah.
So it'll most likely be a late morning, early or lunchtime departure from Dublin Airport to go up to Anthony and then on to Carnlough. But we'll send on those details anyway. Exactly.
Yeah. Greg's looking for a wee stop back, Anthony, into your pub on the way back down.
7 a.m.
Greg is always welcome. I mean, if we have to open specially for Greg and the guys to get just sort of a bit of respite, as a bit of fortification for the additional journey on to Dublin. I mean, we'll make that happen. You know us. We'll make anything happen.
A bit of added iron via a pint of
Yeah.
Guinness for the flight home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have to dig Katie out of bed and say, Katie, come on, you have to come down here and try and smile and abuse everybody. Oh no, that's me. Sorry, I have to try and smile and abuse everybody. Yeah, so that'd be nice.
Greg, if the timings allow, 100%, we'll do that. We'll do that.
I think that's it. I think we've covered it all. We've lots going on. You know where to find us. IrishWhiskeyExperiences.com is the website. Our social channels we're always available. We've got a Facebook group. If you don't hear back from us, it's because we haven't seen, if you put something in a messenger app or Instagram messages, you don't hear back from us, just reach out again. Sometimes things get lost and get diverted in different places. It's tough to keep track of all of them, but we're here for you. We'll answer your questions and looking forward to seeing lots of familiar faces and some new faces joining us as well on this trip. It's going to be great. We've got a great, it's almost like family vacation now every year for some of you.
I love this.
I see you every year.
Really a reunion. But yeah, it's amazing. Listen, folks, thank you so much for the support. It means the absolute world to us. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be able to do these experiences and we wouldn't honestly have the company that we have today. So I'm going to raise a glass to everybody in the audience and everyone who has reserved with us, either in March or September next year. Massive sláinte to you all, and thank you very much.
Cheers, everybody. Sláinte.
Sláinte, everyone.
See you all soon. Sláinte. Cheers.